It's just the gift that keeps on giving.
With Eclipse Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran, now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream and more to your seat. Find out more at Eclipse Cinemas.
Time to join our man at the movies, Collie McFadden, live from Dublin. He's moving around, isn't he?
Yeah, they eventually let me out of the cinema. We were at a award ceremony last night, Jamie. Now, unfortunately, we didn't win, but it was great to be nominated. It was for our social media and all the, you would know all the fun stuff that we do in our social media. And, our little team went down and suddenly there were all these big companies and big stuff. So it was a very different experience for, a little locally owned business. But it was great fun. As you could probably hear from my voice, we had a lot of fun last night.
Absolutely. It was like the little Oscars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come here, you've got a couple of great movies this week. We're looking at the Karate Kid Legends, the South Part. There's just what do you want to kick off with?
I would definitely start with the Karate Kid, which, probably was there at the start of my love of movies. And like a lot of movies of that era, of the 80s, it was actually on VHS that I saw them. Because, we went to the cinema a bit here in Dublin growing up, but not that much. I saw most things. And I remember watching the Karate Kid and just going, this is absolutely brilliant. And I loved some of the other ones. And then I kind of lost interest. But then the TV show recently, and I kind of got into it again. And then, so they've brought back this one. It says Karate Kid Legends. Jackie Chan, Danny LaRusso is back again with a new Karate Kid. Will it be any fun? Let's play the clip.
Only to learn Miyagi Karate. Sensei LaRusso,
Let's make a Karate Kid.
you have a foundation of Kung Fu.
We're gonna build upon that with karate. 2 branches, 1 tree.
Study karate.
This is very like the original, is it? It's kind of come back to where it's
Very much so. And let's give the mild spoiler that I didn't know before I went in. So all the posters, all the trailers say it's, Jackie Chan from the reboot and it's Ralph Macchio, Mr. LaRusso from the original meeting together. They're only a small part of it. Really, most of the movie is kind of very much like the original. It's a young kid in a new town. He's out of place. He does karate to kind of fit in. He has a bit of romance, over the top bad guys. And here's the thing. Because of that, you think, especially as someone, 40 years ago watched the original, you think that would be boring. Not at all. It's absolutely great. Do you know what the word for it is? It's charming, which is not a word you'd expect to use for this. We often talk about family-friendly stuff. This is absolutely family-friendly. I think and probably will particularly appeal to boys, but from sort of 8 to sort of 13, because there's loads of fighting, but it's more like a dance, it's so choreographed. There's no blood, there's no swearing, but there's a really good story, and it's much Rocky, it's about overcoming the odds rather than about the fighting. The young lead Li Fong is really entertaining. He's really likable, and you believe that he's both really good at kung fu and karate, but also is this innocent, vulnerable kid who's really naive and trying to fit in New York. And the first thing he does in New York is ask for like Chicago-style pizza, so he's in trouble with everyone, And it's just nice. And I was thinking, if I was a mum or a dad, and I wanted to bring someone to something that I wouldn't cringe through, or I didn't go, oh, I wish they hadn't used that word, or that's a bit violent, or I don't really like, that sort of attitude to women, or none of that. It's just pure, but that doesn't mean it's boring. It just means it's old-fashioned Hollywood. It is. It's, here's the underdog, that everyone's going to like him. You're all going to support him. And then you have the 2 old wise heads who come in more near the end, and they're really entertaining. Jackie Chan is really fun. Ralph Macchio still looks young. He is now 10 years older than Mr. Miyagi was in the first movie, but he still looks like 30 years younger. But he's charming and it's fun. And the idea of, one's kung fu, one's karate, and they're 2 teachers trying to teach a kid the same thing and confusing them. But it's very funny, charming, and it's like an hour and a half. And that's all they're better for it. Just gets in, tells a nice story. I think we'll have a second one because this kid's going to be a star. He just has the action and he has the charm, and it's a rare combination, and it's really fun. I think it's a great bank holiday, and for some kids as well, maybe Mission Impossible is a bit too long or a bit too intense, and some of the other stuff is a bit much for the parents to watch with them. This is perfect.
Perfect for the bank holiday weekend. Is that open now?
That's open now, yeah.
today. Right. Caught my eye, and this stars Gillian Anderson, The Salt Path. This is from a really book.
Yeah,
That's
it's a book that did very well, and people might have seen the as well as the actors doing the round on the chat show. The original authors are on it, and I think people are always interested in a story like this. It's a couple played by Gillian Anderson and Jason Issacs, and you know things were going okay in life. They invested some money to help their children, and they were swindled. And not only were they swindled, they brought the guy to court, and on a technicality, they lost. So they lost even more than the money they swindled. They lost absolutely everything. And just when they're at the lowest point, the husband was diagnosed with a very serious illness. So they now find themselves homeless and ill. And they just look at each other, and for some reason, they say, "We've always wanted to do this walk, the salt path. We've nothing left to lose. We're just sitting there, literally hiding from the bailiffs." And they start walking. And some people are very nice to them, and some people look down at them because they're homeless. But a miracle happens. He starts to get better. He doesn't get healed, but he starts to feel better. The symptoms go just from living and exercise, which is amazing. But look at the amount of people who do El Camino and stuff like that. The redemptive power of maybe putting all your other worries in your life and just concentrating on putting one foot in front of the other, which is maybe something we should all think about. And he's, it's no spoiler to say he's still with us because the book has been a massive hit. She wrote a book which also helped, with the financial worries and really changed her life and I don't know why these things happen. None of us know why these things happen. But these stories are always fascinating. And it's about hope. And look, can't we all do with that at the moment,
It
and it's about redemption. The two films are very different very different parts of the world. One's real life, one's Hollywood. But they're both about redemption and hope. And that, it's always darkest before dawn. There's always hope out there. So I think this is people are going to really like this. I haven't seen it because I'm in Dublin. But I'm looking forward to catching it once I come back to Bundoran.
I've seen a lot of the clips you sent them down to me, and it absolutely looks fantastic. And I think it's going to be a big
and really good actors too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, one for the kids. Yeah. Peppa is in the cinema.
Oh, all the parents, they know already, right?
Yeah,
Peppa. Okay, so we knew Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig loved each other very much, but maybe more than we knew because Peppa's getting a brand new sister called Evie, and she's very excited about it. And we're going to go to cinema. Now, what they have, the 10 new episodes. That's the way they do it, and they're very much aiming it. Again, we've talked about this before at like my first cinema experience, and like Peppa's going to talk to the kids from the stage, and they're singing along and all that. And look, parents know, this is a nailed-on hit with a certain age. People, those little ones that love Peppa really love it. Like, Peppa is huge. It is like
it's massive.
Absolutely massive. Trump talks about tariffs and stuff like that, and big trade and import steel. Put a tariff on Peppa and he will be brought down tomorrow because Peppa is big business and people love it. And it's very cute, and it's opening this weekend at a special price.
Okay, Mr. Monday, 30 Seconds, The Accountant 2.
Yeah, good fun. Just a good, dumb Hollywood action movie for Bank Holiday Monday for €5. Ben Affleck and his brother. Great fun. Laughed out loud about 4 or 5 times, and the action's good. Just enjoyable nonsense.
Okay, look, thanks for that. And you'll be back with us on Thursday on the old movie slot. Look, enjoy the movies. And sorry now you didn't win the old Oscar this week.
But we will get there. And can I just say thank you to everyone in the cinema who helps me with all these videos all the time.
Ocean Drive.